Thank you. We have about 98 people who have registered for today's event. So I think we can just give them another 3 minutes, then we can start. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. A warm welcome to all of you. I think we can start so that we don't run out of time. I think people will still be coming on. Our agenda is on the screen. I would like to welcome the National Exco, LIASA Exco, the national office as well. All the directors who are here. I would also like to welcome the Rep Council, the Free State Branch, BEC, and guests and all our membership. I would like to welcome you. When we look at our agenda, the attendance, I just want to check if there are any apologies. I know from our side, Mr. Sitle Bloss has put in an apology. Mr. Lasha Naika will be a bit late. He's attending a faculty board meeting. I don't know if there's anyone else, Erna.
I have the apologies of Matilda Smith and Nambita Mankwala.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. Our meeting won't be long because we have a presentation that's going to take place. So our next item, personalia. Any personalia?
Can I say something?
Yes, Erna.
I think we have to congratulate you. I've heard that you have been promoted to the Assistant Director, Marketing and Engage Scholarship at the UFS. Many congratulations on that, and be a very good promotion for you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's an honor. Anyone else? Charlie?
Our imaging librarian of the year, she will be graduating in that last week of May. She'll be graduating at UNISA with Masters in Information Science.
Thank you, Charlie. Congratulations to Namita. We wish her all the best and find many, many more successes coming her way. And thank you for all the congratulatories that are coming through. Anyone else? Okay, thank you. So setting the agenda, are there any items that anybody wants to put in the agenda? Anything new? Okay, if there's, oh, Charlie. Yes, Charlie. Charlie, sorry. I was muted.
LIASA Conference 2023.
LIASA Conference 2023, thank you. Anything else?
That's all.
I take it that's all. Can we have a motion for adoption of the agenda?
I propose, Betsy.
Thank you, Betsy. I can see the hands. A seconder.
Dora Ackerman, seconder.
Thank you, Dora. Agenda adopted. So we'll go to the minutes of the 4th of November. Apelele, thank you very much. I take it we've gone through them. We'll go to page 1 for correction. Page 2. Page 3. We're probably going a bit fast, but I believe we've gone through them.
Wow.
If there's no corrections, can we have a motion for adoption? And a seconder, please.
So Gimaya proposing to proposer.
Thank you, Azuki. Seconder.
Dora Ackerman, second.
Thank you, Dora. Right. 5.2. Matters arising from the minutes. When we had our planning, we had the privilege of having, after consulting with the provincial library about PECLIC being involved and be resuscitated, we were given Ditlare. Ditlare, are you there? Maybe if you can just put your camera on so that they can see you, everybody can see you.
Yes, ma'am. Hi, everyone.
This is Ditlare Mabitle. She's working in the public libraries. She raised her hand and said she'll be available for PECLIC. and she has the support of Merasby and Elmarie to resuscitate PECLIC. So I think we should just give her a hand of applause again. And thank you for making yourself available. And she has been in the BEC meetings, so she will be meeting with PECLIC members very soon. And she also has suggested some days for the programs. I'll show you when we do the report quickly, what she has in store. So we are very excited and we want to welcome you to the Free State Branch LIASA and making yourself available. Thank you. I don't know if there are any questions around that, but thank you.
Thank you so much.
Are there any questions, comments? If there are none, we can go to our next minutes, Apelele. Thank you. Corrections, page 1. Page 2. Page 3. Okay. Thank you. Proposal for adoption. And a seconder, please.
Zongo, I propose.
Thank you, Zungu. Seconder.
Seconder.
Thank you, Ms. Hari. Okay, thank you very much. 6.2 matters arising. There were no matters arising from our side. I don't know if there's anyone who wants to raise anything. All I just wanted to say is thank you to all the people who attended the library week. The attendance was quite amazing. You see at the end, it was around 83 people and in different areas, like in Velcom for the library week. In Tabancho, the school children also came, and at the University of Free State. So and of course the online attendance. So it was all inclusive. Thank you very much for continuous support of the branch. I'm going to go to the next item, matters of the day. Erna, can you please project the report? I'm going to just to save time, our report on all the items that are on there, on the report. And then we'll go to our next item on the LIASA conference after reporting.
Open. I don't know if you can see it.
It's not appearing yet.
Yeah, on my screen it's showing. It's a little bit slow, it seems.
It's probably coming along.
There it is. Can you see it now?
It's nothing yet.
Okay, it shows here with me that that it is sharing.
We are actually sharing the file. Maybe if you can unshare first, open it, and then only share after. Currently, we are only seeing your folders.
Oh, try again.
It's still folders.
I think actually saying open the file first. The document first, then you share it.
Okay.
There you go. Thank
Is
you,
there?
Erna. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. That is the leadership on the Free State branch. If I can just highlight there that we have added Ditlare, and then you'll see that ICT LIG is not appearing anymore because there's no ICT LIG at national. So you know, we can't have it at the branch because they won't be having any kind of support from the national. So it used to be Mr. Bloss. So the ICT LIG members, you will communicate with them to be part of the, if they have a secondary choice, which is probably Heilig, or they will go to the one that they've selected as their secondary. So Mr. Bloss, we have requested him to become an additional member, as you can see on there. All right, so we had 3 BEC meetings, as I'm reporting from November up to date to the end of March, our first quarter. We added November because it was after the AGM. So we had 3 BEC meetings and one branch event on the 23rd of March. Our membership is sitting at 64, including institutional members. And that is the graph that our membership secretary has showed us where most members are, which is Heilig. And then we have new members this quarter, about 4 new members, and old renewals, which are 2. In terms of advocacy, on the 4th of November, we had the branch held a closing celebration where we were graced by the presence of Miss Betsy Easter and Nambi Tamangolo. Miss Betsy is the recipient of the Sabinet Influential Library Leadership Award, and Nambita is the Nevada Emerging LMS Emerging Librarian. They got those awards, so they came to speak to us. It was quite a wonderful and refreshing event to hear about leadership and you know, how they got to this. And we are really proud of them and wish them all the best in their endeavors. And we also celebrated Library Week. We had a guest, Dr. Matobako, who is a professional librarian. She's in the public libraries. She came to speak about the 4th Industrial Revolution and also our relevance as libraries in the 21st century. And of course, because of our theme that we all know about libraries telling powerful stories. So we had wonderful videos from members of the community, academic space, and the library staff who shared their stories. You can also see them on our Facebook page. So we were streaming them. Thank you, Erna. So you will obviously get the report and read more in detail on that. In terms of marketing and communication, myself and the chair-elect, we had the privilege to do an interview with Motsweding. I went to Motsweding, which was the interview was in Setswana, and the chair-elect was in Sesotho at LIASA FM from our branch during the Library Week, the National Library Week, the South African Library Week, I must say it correct. And then, of course, the Rep Council members, but I'm reporting on the EXCO members, I'm reporting on the branch. Also, our PRO will not be customizing the birthday cards anymore due to her responsibilities with the emerging librarian engagements. So she's quite busy, and so she apologizes on that matter. So she conveyed that if you are comfortable with Facebook, we will go that route. Obviously, the POPIA Act will be observed in terms of whether you want your name or your birthday or whatever there, but it will be communicated. Our newsletter has gone out for this term. It's also on Facebook. And I think the time where we meet face-to-face, all our new members will be receiving their marks. So we will communicate that whenever we meet. In terms of good governance, our cloud storage is up to date and it's been populated continuously by the secretary. Training and development for this term, we had the library in terms of the branch events. We have the South African Library, and then of course our interest group, Leslig. They visited the radio station, OFM. It's part of forming partnerships and collaborations. As you can see, our financials there, our bank account is sitting at the national, from the report, the current account is sitting at 1,565.83 cents, and the investment account at 35,864.95 cents. I must say it correct. All right, and then in terms of the challenges, I think the challenges is just the membership, the growth of membership, and it's coming in slowly. I see at least we are in the third month there. So for us to reach our target that National has put forward to us, the challenge, I think we are halfway. So we must just push until we get there so that we can get those funds in our account. And then in terms of the planned activities, they are stated there. We already had the legal deposits, and then today we're having the professional librarian status. Elich will be doing on OER, and the new kid on the block again is PECLIC. They are going to, Ms. Ditlare says they have something interesting that they want to do called After Hours. That's about books. When the library is closed, now the books are already having a conversation about what's happening, what the members, the library visitors and all that. It's quite exciting what she gave me a sneak preview on that. So I think it's something that we are looking forward to hear what the books are saying about us in the library after hours. And then, of course, I'm not going to say all of them there. You can see the events that are coming up. So I would encourage you, please, to register and attend. And then in terms of our social media presence, you can see our views. We have 151 views, 8 posts. I must say the storytelling has received positive responses. You can see especially Professor Solomon. He got about 547, his powerful story about how the library impacted him in terms of writing his books because he is the author. And those are also the other social medias that we have. And that is, I've come to the end of the chair's report for the branch. Thank you very much. I don't know if there are any questions. Thank you, Erna.
Okay.
Chair, it's Betsy. Just correct Professor Makola. It's actually, he said it is Makola, not Solomon.
Oh, okay.
It's Makola, yes.
Thank you so much, Betsy. We'll correct that. Danny, Mr. Malan.
Good afternoon, Chair. Good afternoon, everyone. I'd just like to point out on the membership. The members must remember that it is an election year, and
Yes.
in order for them to can vote and also nominate people, they have to be registered by the end of May.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. So by the end of May, we have to be registered members in order for us to vote. So we'll take note of that and we'll send communication again to just remind the members. Thank you very much. If there's no other comment or question, we'll go to our next item. Charlie, the LIASA conference.
Yeah, good afternoon, colleagues. It's just to sensitize colleagues that there was a save the date that was sent out very soon, probably by next week. We will open registration. There were minor challenges with some logistics. We needed to get them out of the way, so please, colleagues, let's support. It's the dates. The save the date was from the 10th to the 13th of October at Lord Charles Hotel in Cape Town, actually Stellenbosch to be exact. So it's just to sensitize colleagues to be on the lookout, and then please, the call for papers and the theme for this year, it's an interesting one. It's building on the previous conference and also on the previous theme of the South African Library Week. It's just to sensitize colleagues and also just to say, please renew your membership so that you get those necessary discounts. Thank you.
Thank you, Charlie. Are there any questions around the conference? I think it's straightforward and clear. We've also put it a little bit of information on the newsletter, just as a reminder. Okay, if there are no questions, comments, I'm going to hand over to Zuki for the program of the day, the event of the day. Thank you, Zuki. Over to you.
Good afternoon, colleagues. Thank you, Madam Chair, for the formal meeting, if I may say so, or the branch activities. And we would also like to thank you, our Free State members, for the activeness that they show in branch activities. Colleagues, as we change our gears, we would like those that are able to switch on their cameras to switch on, and then we would like to request Apelele and Ms. Dora Ekamen to take the pictures. We need evidence for our newsletters that we had this. So be bold and show up your face. I see Keho only. Let me see everyone. Then Apelele and Dora, you will tell us when you are done of taking pictures. Are we all in the photo? It's nice to see your face on LIASA in Touch at the next term. Smile, you are on camera. I am sure that we are now all visible. Thank you, colleagues. You can now switch off your cameras. Thank you to our technicians. I think, yes. Colleagues, we will be looking on the professional librarian status and our CPD points, how all these things work. As BEC, we took time to say, let us talk to what matters mostly to us as members, the value of our membership in our professional body, LIASA. Before that, I was on the social media. Then I realized that there was a challenge that was going on. You know, the social media space always have challenges. And then this challenge took the challenge really took my attention. This challenge is about, okay, maybe some of you have seen the challenge, some haven't seen the challenge. Can you see my screen, colleagues?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, if you are looking on the picture on my right side, what will you associate with? Because I don't see hands, you are free, you can just unmute and respond.
Hair salon.
Yes, are we in agreement that is hair salon, eh? On my top left side,
Construction.
construction, I'm hearing one voice. And then obviously, if we look on the middle one, we can already think of something that it's nurses.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's today International Nursing
Yes.
Day.
Yes, today it is
Yes.
International Nurses Day, and it's popular, is there, we all know about that. Okay, we are now on the next slide. My left side, what comes in mind?
Lawyers.
Lawyers.
We are all in agreement of lawyers.
Yes.
Okay, then your top right corner.
Teachers.
Teachers.
Teaching.
School.
So you are thinking about your days, ne? When you were still there as a learner. And then your middle one?
Soldiers. Soldiers.
Soldiers.
Soldiers.
Yes, those are the soldiers. Okay. So this challenge, and then we have doctors.
Doctors.
Yes, this challenge really kept me thinking how we as librarians want to be identified. Or when we are thinking of librarians, what comes in mind? Okay, when the society thinks of librarians, what is it that they think about it? Are they able to identify us easily as we have just done with other professionals? For instance, it was very easy for us to identify saloon. We never really struggled to identify lawyers. We just saw those trolley bags and we know. How is it? This is the challenge that I am leaving colleagues with you to think about. What is it that identifies you? How are you identified by the society? I know when we are in these platforms, as professionals, as librarians, we can always say this and this and that. But what was key for me when I was looking at this challenge is how easily the society identify these other challenges. We have a lot of others, maybe later. I don't want to spend much time. I've captured a lot of these pictures on that Facebook challenge. So that is what I am leaving you with. Without a waste of time, colleagues, I will now introduce our speaker, which is not a stranger on these platforms and is not a stranger on the Free State branch. it's our own. We take pride of our speaker. Our speaker is a colleague that is a professional librarian, a teacher, an assessor, as well as the deputy director at University Free State Library. Also, he is representing non-academic staff in University Council and serves on its, hello?
Please mute Moeketsi.
Oh, okay. Can I then continue? Okay. He's serving on the Finance and Human Resource Committee. Before he joined UFS, he worked at the Vista University. The old age members know Vista University, but I'm at 2000, they don't even know what is Vista University. He also worked at Natal University. That university is no longer in existence, but if you do not know Natal University, go and do your research, University of Johannesburg. He also worked for Universal Knowledge Software and University of KwaZulu-Natal Libraries, Docent Books, UK, as an international accounts director for Africa. We are talking about a professional that is well vested in all sectors of library and information services. He also served on the following governance structures in his career: Vista University Council, ETDP SITA board member, and the chair of SACA Standards Generating Body of the Library and Information Services. He served as a president of Union of Democracy University Staff Association for 3-year term. And we all know that currently he is the reigning president-elect of the Library and Information Association of South Africa. Colleagues, can you give a round of applause to Mr. Charlie Mulepo, who will be taking us through our topic today. Welcome, Charlie.
Thank you, Zuki. I just realized how old I am.
Your University of Natal Vista tells the age.
Yeah.
Thank you, Charlie. Over to you.
Thank you. I just want to do a small presentation on where we are in terms of our paradigm. I'll quickly try and project, share my screen. Just give me. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Okay. It's not on slideshow, ne?
Yes, it's not yet on slideshow.
Okay. Anyway, let me leave it because I'm not gonna do a lot of presentation on the slideshow though, because I would like to do it then. So colleagues, what I thought I should do first is to speak to you about a professional designation, where we are, and what constitutes a professional designation. One thing that you need to understand is that professional designation is based on law. It's based on an act, NQF Act of 67 of 2008. You find the issue around designation in chapter 6. And that whole section deals with what is a designation. And what is important is that there is no designation without a professional body. So I sometimes hear people complaining, saying, for instance, they are not treating us as professionals. But when you look at why should they treat you as a professional when you are not a professional? If you don't belong to a professional body, you cannot claim to be a professional. You may have whatever qualification you've got, but you are not a professional person. In terms of the law, you may call your wife or your girlfriend or your boyfriend may call you a professional, but you are not. That's the fact. There is no profession without a professional body, and there is no professional body without professionals. So that's one thing I wanted to make it clear right from the beginning, so that when we talk about this, people understand, because you might practice as a librarian, but you are not a professional librarian. For you to be a professional librarian, you need to belong to a body, a professional body that would give you that designation to be in. So as you would see that in that last bullet, without a professional body, there can be not a professional designation in terms of the current law. So, and the other important thing that I want to bring on board again it's this one of what is a professional designation, because I think that's one area that is very confusing for most of us, right? I'm gonna try to do it simpler so that when we come to the CPD point, you understand the logic within the CPD points. So what SAQA expects as a professional body is that this is conferred on you. You get this status, you get this title. As I was indicating earlier on, that you cannot say I'm a professional person. You cannot say I'm a professional librarian unless a professional body designate you, confer the status to you, give it to you. Actually, what is even supposed to happen, if we had time, and we would actually have what we call an event where we would, let's say in 2023, we would have an event, maybe at the conference, where we would confer this professional designation to all the people who would have applied and qualified. So so it's not like it's a simple thing like that you automatically become a professional. It's a designation by law, and it's only conferred by a professional body that is recognized by South African Quality Authority. So once this title is conferred on you, you then get a right to practice in that field as a professional. So if you are not LIASA, if you are not conferred this status, when you practice, you are a fraud. Nobody recognize, you are not supposed to be recognized. But we know we come from a history where in the library information sector didn't have a professional body. But as you can see already, if you look at in local government, already government has already made a decision that workplace in local government is going to be professionalized. So for you to practice as a librarian, to practice in the library, you need to be a member of a professional body. It's getting there also in other sectors. In my own institution, for instance, the right to practice, you don't get employed in this job, and and obviously we are looking at HR reviewing also, because some people pay membership to get the position and then don't renew. Like in any profession, if you no longer has the professional state designation of that profession, you cannot allow to practice. We will be implementing it with our HR here to make sure that somebody who comes here, because it's a requirement. You see, when we say something is an inherent requirement, it means you cannot work without having that status. So we can't now, when we are in, then decide. Because why? Because we know that somebody who's in the LIASA or who is in a professional board is expected to always learn. You know, every time you must learn. So for instance, in LIASA, we give you 3 years to acquire 20 CPD points so that you stay on track. You stay on track so that you know exactly, we know that any person coming from LIASA, that person is not outdated. He might have got his qualification in 1965, but his knowledge, his or her knowledge is current because within every 3 years, he accumulates continuous professional development. That's what it means shortly. So I would end here. I just wanted to draft this background so that you understand where is it coming from. One, you cannot call yourself a professional person if you don't belong to a professional board. It's law. You can claim it, but it's not true. You are not a professional. You know, I miss seeing your face because I wanted to see if it sinks. If it's sinking.
It does sink. It does.
Yeah, please let
Yeah.
it sink.
Very clear.
Yeah. So
loud and clear.
Thank you. So I'm gonna pause this sharing and then come with the news. So what is important now? What you need to understand. Where's my mouse? So what I want to share with you it's that what is important is that at the end of the day, we all need to constantly gain new knowledge to stay relevant for us to keep our status as professional person. I would share with you, everyone who's on the panel. I will share with you some PowerPoint presentation from SAQA that speaks to the issue of a professional status or a designation. So what is important is that people need to understand that at all times, you need to keep abreast what's happening in your profession. You need to, because the nature and everyone who is a librarian can tell you that there is almost what we learn at the university or what we learn when we became librarian, only the theory around it, or only the underlying theory still applies, but the technology, the standards that we used, they've all changed. So just think about it. If you remain constant and did not appraise yourself of the latest trends do you think you would still be able to practice as a librarian? If you think about it, some of you did cataloging with ACR. There was CR1, there was CR2, there was CR2 revised. Now we are even into RTA. So think about it. If you then didn't constantly improve yourself, would you be able to work in the metadata field when you're still using old standards that have become obsolete? When we started with technology in cataloging, we're using a Unimark, we even have a Mark SA. Now we're running on Mark 21, for instance. So if you think about it, for you to reach 21, there's 20, there's 19, there's the same with DDC, the same with, so every time. So it's clear that unless you keep learning, you become irrelevant. people who studied librarianship in the early 80s, in the 80s, 70s, they were doing catalog. There was something that it was so fascinating. What was it called? I'm sorry that I might ask some of you, because a credenza, you know, when the one that we use, that is store, that help us to keep update the journal publication. You have to do it by hand. And then technology was introduced. Initially, it was very small, but now it's so advanced that sometimes books are cataloged from publication. So books already, when they're published, they're already cataloged. So, and they're already on the WellCat. So what you do, you just customize it for your internal environment. Or you also look at concepts that are unique to your environment. So as you can see, unless you constantly learn, and the learning in terms of the legislation, it differs. There is formal learning, there is informal learning. They are kind of, so when we go through this training now, I'm gonna show you. So what we the current LIASA executive, what they did, remember in the past we used to have a professional board of LIASA. So what they've done now, they look at establishing what we call an academy management committee, which is a MENCOM. MENCOM is the one that it looks at the running of the professional board. So as we move towards restructuring, these are some of the subcommittees that are going to be there. So for instance, now, what I'm going to show you, when we have done what I'm going to show you, it's gonna go into the system. Then the CPD committee, which is gonna be a subcommittee of the new structure, is gonna look at, to say, here is an application from Charlie. This is what Charlie has done. He has attended this workshop. These are the outputs of the workshop. He's applying for a one point, because workshop is 1 point. So he's applying for a 1 point. He has attached the invite. He has attached a photo of the attendance register. So sometimes if you attend those that have attendance certificate, you can even attach a certificate. So that would look at it and say, yes, this one is approved, we give you a point. So remember now, it's 2023, it's your first training. So you'll have 1 point out of 20, right? Today, you have attended this Free State workshop camp meeting. You are going to, again, send it up. Fortunately, this one, you'll see it's gonna pop up in your email to say, you have attended something that has a CPD, you can get a CPD point. So fortunately for you, the ones that are organized by LIASA, they are automatically captured on your behalf. So that is why it's important that even if we are going to attend the meeting in a room, right, you must register and log in, so that because your logging in is part of the register. Apelele and Lebu will pick it up that Charlie attended this one, so they'll allocate you a point, and also it's not automatical, because that's why it pops up in you to say, this is what you attended, so you need to acknowledge it, or say, no, I didn't attend, reject it. Maybe somebody attended with your name and what. So that one is automatic. You don't have to worry about it. So most of you now, what I'm going to do, when you go in, you will see, those of you who attend meetings, who go to conferences, you will pick up that you already have those CPD points, right? So like today, you are attending a meeting, but your knowledge of library association and library work is gonna be different than 11 o'clock today. Hello? What you know now, what you would know at the end of this session of attending Free State LIASA is going to be different from what you knew by 11 o'clock today.
Yes.
So after 2 hours today, you will be a different person. You understand why CPD is important? Yeah, so, right. Can you see my LIASA website?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we do.
Right. So now it's the practical part, because this has been, it's a bit, it's frustrating, but people, we as LIASA, the Academy Management Committee, we agreed when we met last week of April that we are going to have videos and we are going to promote, because it's your responsibility to capture your CPD point. Some of the things are done at your institution. Most of your institutions, through your skills development office, they conduct, they do have soft skills training, or they provide, they organize some training that you attend. So if you attend those training that are done by your institution, please take your phone. When the attendance register comes to you, just take your phone, capture the attendance register. If there are ID numbers, for instance, because sometimes those that are attended through CETA, because they need to know that this is a real person. They sometimes include ID numbers of people. So please, before you upload it, just hide other people's ID number so that they are not visible. You can only leave yours, because you are the one giving it to LIASA and you trust LIASA. But other people's ID number, please hide them. But if in your organization, because they understand professional bodies, you can ask them to say, after the training, you can ask them to write you a letter that confirms that you attended training as a proof that you would upload with your CPD points. So we will discuss, I will take questions, and then we can look at all other options. So this is what is important. When you come to the LIASA webpage, right, what the very first important thing we'll do, right, let me sign out first, okay? Right, you come to the LIASA website, you come to my profile, right? So I've not signed in. You come here, my profile, you come to manage my profile. You click here, right? On manage my profile, it's gonna, let me hide this. It's gonna come in here, and then you need to put in you need to sign in, because I'm not signed in. If I was signed in, it will immediately go to my profile, but I'm not signed in. I'll put in my LIASA membership number, and then put in my password, and then because this is my laptop, I'm gonna use it more and more. So I say it must remember me. But if you are at the internet cafe, just remove this, because you don't want somebody else who's coming into the internet cafe can go into your profile. But if it's your gadget, you can say, remember me, and then you sign in, right? But once you are signed in, every time in your computer, every time once you are signed in, you see, when you go to my profile, manage my profile, it's gonna open up this page, right? What you need to do, you just scroll down, right? I'm not gonna talk about other things that are here. I'm just gonna concentrate now on the professional board. So on the content and features, you come where it says professional development, right? You click here. Let me make this one. You come where it says content development, right? Here it says professional development, Charlie Molepo. And then it shows you certificate and program there. You see my Do you see my
Your profile.
My credits. You see all the things I'm doing. Look at this one. So remember, it's for your points when you end them, it's for 3 years, right? So it has a start and end date. So it will tell you when the points expires, when they were entered, right? So you can look at that, it's approved. So you can see, these are all mine. When you've got a dispute, some things that you like, for when you receive an email, tells you this has happened, you can go in and make changes and F. So as you can see, I don't owe LIASA. I've got 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 17, 19, 21, 25, 30. And all they require, I need to have 20 points in a year, in 3 years. So I already have 30. If I'm lazy, I can just stay away from training for the next 2 years. But by that time, I would be useless. In 2 years' time, in this current technology, you would be useless. So this is how it looks. So you can go into your own profile, you would see that's how it looks. But now today I'm going to concentrate on the training that you do it. That is not part of LIASA. That is not arranged by Apelele and Lebu or by the office. But the one that you, when you go, that is arranged by your employer or on your own, or for instance, like now, we said Nambita is going to graduate. So it's going to get her certificate. So what you do, you come here, right? You go to professional. Let me start from scratch again, right? For those who didn't concentrate, you on your website, on the tab, the extreme right, you go to my profile, you go manage profile, right? Then you scroll down until you reach content and features. Then the last one, it says professional development. You click there. Then you scroll down. Then here you get this. Then you come where it says add entry, right? I'm gonna add an entry. Is this entry for a certificate, a program? Yes, because it's a program for the one that you are doing. And then currently, when we've got different ones, the drop down is going to have many, but for now, we'll just click on other, right? So you'll mention the name of the program. Currently, we only have professional librarian. So once we've got other designation, we're going to have, let's say, library practitioner or library assistant or whatever. And then credit type, in this case, it's LIASA workshop. Okay? Those who attended AGMs, if you are attending an AGM, you'll click here. So here it's a LIASA workshop. And then it's entry, it's today. Description, you can say professional body CPD workshop. How many credits you want? It's 1. So, all right, I'll come back to the credits to say, how do you see your credits? I'll show you quickly. And then when it's gonna expire. Initially, my sense was telling me it's 3 years, but it looks like it's a year. So you can, I normally, instead of going on and on and on, I'll just come here, put 4, say 5, right? And then these ones you can leave. But if, let's say, it has an assessment, you can put an assessment, and then the codes, we can leave it out. And then now comes this important part. Please, this is very important. Now you come here, if there's an attendance register, you save it, and then you choose a file. Amongst your file where you have saved it, put it in, say open, it gets uploaded. It allows you now to put another one. If, for instance, you put in an attendance register here, and then here you can also put in the content of the course. This is the course I was doing. You upload it, and if there are any other things that would like to, this is how you do it, and therefore after that you click submit. Okay, let's make another example. Right. Again, my profile, you select, manage my profile, go down. On the contents and features, professional development. Then you come in here, you say add entry. Yes, a certificate. Yes, it's either. Yes, professional librarian. You did a formal degree. Then this is what, then master's in LIS. Credits, master's formal qualification credits, they are 3. Formal studies, it's 10 points. Okay, and then put in your date, expiry date, and then if you want to tell us how much you got, you can. Then from there, you click here, here's your certificate, you upload it. I almost said you can also include the photo of your graduation. Yeah, there it's simple. It's your name, it's your certificate, so you don't have to put in many things. But for the courses that you do it at the workplace, because we want to see the content, we want to see if it's relevant, if you've gained anything. So you must put in the course content out, or it's just the course outline or the course outputs. And then you submit the attendance register, and then you submit the certificate if you've got it. So I think I will stop here. All right, let me show you. You might be asking now, where do I get the points to say how much should I claim? How much points should I claim? So you go to members, né? On the website, you go to members, professional designation, and then all CPD activities and requirement. You click here and you go down. There they are. Seminars, symposium attendance, depending on the duration level, it's 1 point. Group discussions, 1 point. And the evidence, here's the evidence. They tell you what you need to submit. Like in symposium, you submit the program and the proof of attendance, like I was saying. Here, proof of attendance and written summary. What is it that you are discussing? In workshop, proof of registration and attendance, information sharing session, what you discuss and proof of attendance, LIASA activities, the branch and what participation in the workshop like today, it's 1 point. This one, it speaks to So if it's a half-day conference and all of those, they explain. So you can see, you can go in there and quickly check. If you did a diploma, it's 6 points, and a degree, it's about 10 points, as we have done, as we have seen earlier on. A short course, it could be a short learning program, but which is, you get a certificate of competence. Do you know the difference between certificate of attendance and certificate of competence? Competence, it means you have done assessment and you were found to be competent. You have passed, in layman's language, you have passed. But if it's just attendance, you only get, you only do the one that it's just 1 point. But if it's something that is formal, you were assessed, then you get. So like today, if I was training, if I was doing the workshop, I was training people, you guys get 1% because you're listening to me. I get 2 points because I'm the presenter. I'm facilitating the workshop. There's another point. Those who attend conference, you do a poster presentation. Over above conference attendance points, you will get an additional point. And if you present also, if you volunteer during LIASA, you get another point. And then scholarly communication, dinner and company, you publish as a solo author, 5 points, a chapter in a book, 3 points, and a reviewed article review, 3 points. And if you are an editor in a book, 3 points. So I'm not gonna go deeper on that. All I'm showing you is that it's easy. You come here, membership, you come professional body, you come CPD activities and requirements, right? But if you forget what I've shown you, you can come in here, professional body, member professional body designation, overview of CPD. Then you click here, then scroll down. They tell you exactly what I was talking about, and you can read on this. Let me pause sharing, stop sharing. So let me see on the comments before I take the questions. Oh, maybe Zuki, let me hand it to you.
Thank you. And the colleagues, before we engage, I do believe that our presenter deserve another round of applause, because indeed we are not like the people that we were at 11:55. We have changed. We did not know so much, and now we know. And that, Charlie, I won't be long. Thank you, colleagues. We see those thumbs up, claims. There are comments on the chat. There are also questions. Let me start with the question because others are comments. Colleagues, those that have questions, they are also free to raise their hands so that Charlie can coordinate well his responses. Our smart CP, our visitor, is asking, I'm sure that actually you can see, but I will just read out for other colleagues. If I attend online workshops from, in this case, service providers like your Emerald or ProQuest, where you will receive certificates, are they also recognized? That's the question that's there. Also on the comment in that, Charlie, you may respond in this, maybe in your conclusion, the issue of a library association and the professional body. When LIASA, we know it is an association. On the name, it does not reflect it as being professional body. Does that name thing carries a weight in so much that other colleagues would like to be associated with the association, or they would prefer professional body, I mean a name that will reflect a professional body. Other is for about us keeping abreast with ourselves. I do not see any other hand. Let me quickly check. Do we have hands raised? Okay, I do not see any hand.
There is a hand. It's okay.
Okay.
Two hands.
Okay, I will allow those colleagues to ask questions. Thank you, Madam Chair. Can the first colleague
it's
ask
C.
the question?
Reynolds and
Hi, it's
Molopian.
Thank you. This is C. Reynolds. It's Claudia here from University of Johannesburg. Thank you for that presentation. I think I've been confused about the date that you put what the expiry date of your points is. I thought it's a 3-year cycle. And then in that 3-year cycle, everything has like the same expiry date. Like let's say from the 1st of January 2023, then everything expires on the 31st of December 2026. That's your 3-year cycle. But now I see you take the date of each thing, presentation or conference, and you put the expiry date 3 years from that date. Is that right?
Okay, let's,
I think,
your question is
think that's
noted.
a quick one. I think that's a quick one. Yes, that's correct. The others I would come late, yeah.
Okay, imagine it.
Thank you, Chair. Mine is not a question as such. I just want to say, when you are a teacher, you have to be a member of SACE. You cannot stand in class in front of students and be an accredited teacher without being a member of SACE. So I think even this association of ours should find ways and means to enforce this process similarly to what a committee has indicated there, that it becomes a force, so that every year, I still remember when I was still a high school teacher, every year we had to renew our SACE membership. Otherwise, you could be prohibited to go to class to teach. So we must be up to that level. Thank you.
Thank you, May. Yes, indeed, other professionals, bodies, you are not practicing without that status. And that actually, let me give you to respond so that we can go to another round.
It's fine. Thank you. Let me start from the top. In terms of maybe, let me start with the colleague from UJ. Yes, we are correct. The idea of a cycle is a 3-year cycle. And yes, the idea is that in the 3-year cycle, you should always have 20 points. Like you might have seen with mine, some are expiring. If once they expire, if I was sitting on 20 in 3 years and the others expire, I'll be sitting on 17 now. I need to get another 3 points. That is gonna make, so so in a sense, that your training, the training that you have received in the last 3 years is considered to be relevant. So it won't start at the same time and end at the same time, because if that was the case, you would go to training in November. If they were all expiring at the same time, it means by December, you would have lost your point. So now the point that you gain in November, you're gonna take it for the next 3 years until November that year. And then on the question of LIASA as an association, I quickly just went through to SAQA website. You've got Association of Chartered Certified Accountants in South Africa. You've got SAFTA, South African Facility Management Association. You've got SAMRA, South African African Marketing Researchers Association. So whether we say association, that's why now when we, and what we are saying, that's one of the things that we discuss at the MENCOM, the Academy Management Committee, that maybe with restructuring, we also need to look at rebranding LIASA. So one of the things that might come to membership is the issue around rebranding of LIASA, because like the colleague is saying, that stigma, it's not stigma though, but it's the relationship of LIASA as a voluntary association. It's still with us until we consciously make a decision to say we are no longer a voluntary, but we are a SAQA registered professional association. So you would see most of the correspondence now when we explain LIASA. It says LIASA, library, a SAQA recognized professional body. That's how we define ourselves. Yes, that so please, Auspias, please, not, was it JR? Yeah, JR from, please, when the discussion comes up, please make your input. In relation to training from vendor and other, it's exactly what I was showing you today is exactly for those kind of training. Because if you attend those training, any professional librarian will tell you that the change in the products that we deal with in offering our service, they change quite rapidly. So when you attended such training, even a normal subinet, they call it, what do they call it? They when they engage with librarians, subinet.
They are regional meetings.
Regional meetings.
Okay.
The thing they share with you, the person who's not there is not gonna, it doesn't know what you know. So it's different. So you capture that, you send, you attach your certificate, you attended subinet regional meeting. Maybe if we are not convinced, the worst we can do, we can say, give us the outcomes. What were the things that were discussed? So yes, Madisipi, those ones, they also count. Whether you've got a certificate to prove of attendance or just an attendance register. So that's why most of them, they don't put in IDs. So you can just take a quick picture with your phone, save it. When you upload, you can upload that attendance register that you did attend.
We have another, thank you, Tatenda. We have another question from Betsy of adding. Can I add this retrospectively? I think we want to know how back can we go, how far?
3 years. So if Betsy, it was, you did it in 2021. So it will be 2021 plus 3 years. So in 2024, it will be expiring. You might have captured it today, but the training or you end this point in 2021. So yes, you can do it retrospectively, but it will expire 3 years after you because remember what you have learned that time, it is already 2 years old now. So yes, you can do it retrospectively, but it will be only available for the remainder of that.
Okay. I see Dora has a pressing hand, the way it comes up. Let me give to Dora before we add other questions. Yes, Dora?
Thank you, colleagues. Morning. Oh, yeah, afternoon, Charlie. Thank you so much. I think this was long overdue so that we can iron out all our challenges. Exactly on the point where you showed us on the professional, what was that? I actually opened it, is to see how points were captured. I've observed for a long time now, since 2021, when they started to capture our points, it was only valid for a year. So a lot of our points that were captured in 2021 that might still be valid has already expired in 2021. So can we appeal that those points can be extended? And then my second part of the question.
Sorry, Dora. I see there's a WhatsApp. Oh, okay, you may continue. Someone was sharing the WhatsApp screen. Yes.
And then secondly, I don't want to compare professions, but what I know what happens, for instance, when the medical profession, they have these webinars or conferences, they get a point per hour. But when we attend LIASA conferences, we get, it's a 4-day conference and we get 4 points. So, I mean, we spend a lot of time and effort and we have to concentrate, especially that time of the online events. And I think it might only be fair if we can also investigate that as well, to give points according to the number of hours spent. Thank you. That's all from my side.
And Dr. Chari, you want to respond on the expiry date?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, those that have already been captured, maybe not. But I've noted it. I'm going to take up with the academy. And colleagues, when we make a call, because we're going to have a separate subcommittee of CPD, because now we are going out on the drive to familiarize people with the professional body and the issue of the CPD. There will be a lot of people applying. So there will be a special committee that looks at CPD. That will be the committee that would make that decision in terms of that. I think there was a misnomer in terms of the SAQA, because that's what we say. You see, that's what we say. We say you need to accumulate these points per 3-year cycle, you know. So it doesn't make sense then to have a year, something ending in a year, because for you to accumulate these 20 points, it's over 3 years. So the point you accumulate now should last you for 3 years to be able to reach the 20, because not all of us are able to, because some companies are understaffed. So for you to attend either a workshop or a conference, it may take you longer. So just imagine now, if this year you accumulate 10 points and they all expire, next year you accumulate 14 points, the 10 points are gone, then they expire. So that's why it is a 3-year cycle, so that they make 20 all in all. Dora, we can investigate yours, but my advice to you is that just accumulate more. Then on the conference, yes, when we do, we might have to do a call. We are supposed to discuss at the last management committee, and we thought, no, look, the current CPD points that we're currently giving, they are fine. And we said that based on we never had such a suggestion in the past, but now that we have raised it, it's very important that we brought to the attention of, because what we are saying is true. Because I'm just thinking about the conference. I mean, the amount of learning that you do at the conference in 1 week, it's quite a lot to only looking at only 4 points, meaning a point a day. So it's a valid point. I think when we resubmit, because the qualification is going to be reviewed in 2024. So when we submit the review in 2024, we can look at the CPD points and see if the conference were not doing enough. But that would mean LIASA need to be more technological based, because we don't want to give Charlie points for registering for the conference, only to find that Charlie was at the beach most of the time. When we started LIASA, the professional body, those who were there, at Gauteng, I think at OR Tambo Conference Center. There was a time when Sabinet, the name tags had an RFID. When you go into the room, it would capture your information. So maybe LIASA, when we look at if we go that route, because currently it's just a blanket approach to say you have registered for the conference, therefore it's assumed you have attended, only to find that maybe you attended very few sessions. If we look, yeah, that would be the case, Dora. Thank you.
Thank you, Ntate. My line manager always says, if you say you have 20 years experience, sometimes you are like 1 year experience if you were doing same thing. 20 years of doing same thing may it be equivalent to a really 1 year. Now Ntate Chalu say after 3 years, I must upgrade myself. I mustn't be comfortable and say, I know. I see that we do have a hand up, Metitlara. Let me give to you the opportunity.
Okay, thank you so much. Hello, everyone again. Indeed, thank you once again for a very informative session. All the time you change us so much. And my question will be, there's a lot of people I've talked to, especially the library, the site, they don't have a problem with joining LIASA, but I think the burning issue is the affiliation fee. Can't we perhaps try going the route of PESAL? I don't know if that can help. Thank you.
Okay. Dr. Charlie, before you respond to that, I would like to ask the burning question. That when can we expect to have more designation? I want to align my question with the Clary that saying PESAL, and now here on this call, we have non-professional in terms of qualification. Then when can we expect other designations?
Yeah, the PESAL route we intend to engage. There are two approaches there are two schools of thoughts that are being contested currently. Some people are clearly opposed to LIASA. No, not necessarily. All right, let me do this. First, there's a school of thought that NCLIS, there's an agreement when they were doing during the chairpersonship of Professor Nkondo, that when they review the legislation, which currently they are doing, they should look at having a statutory designations, meaning that it should be an act of parliament and then NCLIS would then LIASA would become an agent in managing the professional status within NCLIS. That's a statutory body. It's law. Nobody can dispute that. And most people in public sector, they are pushing for that. But people, professionals in higher education and other bodies, they are saying, if you look at SAICA, the one for accountants, it's not a statutory association, it's a SAQA, but you cannot practice as an accountant if you are not you're not being recognized as a chartered accountant unless SAICA gives you that designation. So both these they are aligned. So in a sense, the PESAL one, because already in the public sector, there is already a gazette. I'm not sure if you've all seen, it was published last year by Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma when he was still a minister of local government, where it was around professionalization of the Library Association. So we are looking at going to municipalities, SALGA, to come and have that agreement so that it allows. And then at provincial level, probably it would come because now public service is one. So probably the professionalizing of the public service would come. But if it doesn't come, that would be one. But I can tell you now, if everyone in the library sector can become a member of LIAS, would join the association, what would happen is that there will be no need to pay 700 rands per person. Because currently, only 2,000 people are carrying 10,000, the mandate of 10,000 people. But if these 10,000 people can start paying, then it means there would be enough funds to run the association. Currently, only 2,000 contribution makes the association to run. So the more numbers we have, the cheaper the membership would become. But the one on person, we're looking at it. It's in the agenda. Lastly, on the issue of other designation, I wanted to show you a slide from SAQA, but I will share with you. When we submitted the designation library assistant and others, what they said is that in terms of the designation, you can only have a designation that has an underlying qualification. I'm going to repeat slowly.
What does that mean?
Yeah. You cannot have a designation that has no qualification. And the only qualifications that are currently recognized are those that are accredited by CHE, which is higher education, and FET, TVET, vocational training. And you'll remember that QCTO qualifications, it's a new qualification. So when this law was amalgamated in 2008, there was no vocational qualifications. So they are therefore excluded because of that, not because the QCTO qualifications, they are not, but the issue is that you cannot use them as an underlying qualification. Whereas when we're talking about NQF level library assistant, we had used NQF level 5 qualification, occupational qualification for library assistant. And then they said, no, you need to have a qualification that is NQF from level 7 upwards. So that's where we're stuck. We need to be very innovative in terms of how do we. So we are planning to have a meeting with SAQA and give them this situation that is currently happening in libraries, right? So what they've said themselves, and you would see it now when we publish the new requirement for professional designation. What they've said is that, like now with professional librarian, the underlying qualification is NQF level 7 qualification with NQF level 8 qualification, which is M+4. The new CHE qualification for librarian, it's a 4-year degree. No longer 3-year degree from UNISA, no longer 3-year degree from anywhere. All library qualifications is 4 years. Or a general degree, and any degree plus a postgraduate library. So for you to be recognized currently and in the future, it will be M+4. So that is an underlying qualification. So now, the other people who don't have that qualification, you can look at what you call RPL. That's what SAQA says, and say we need to have it forces us to have a policy to say, how then do you recognize somebody who has, let's say, a 3-year library qualification? And then what you do then, you do that RPL process to close the gap. Because the person has been working in the industry for so many years, that person, therefore, he takes an assessment that will determine whether he, because of that, we know we come from that history where people were denied rights to study in certain institutions. So that we are looking at that. But even then, we are not saying those people should automatically become, but they need to go through an RPL requirement so that you can see that they do have these specific outcomes. you would see when we publish them, we are going to say this designation is only people with a 4-year qualification or a degree plus postgraduate. And all 3-year degrees up to January 2023. So who have been registered. So meaning that some of the people are in the pipeline. So their universities only had 3-year degrees, but in January, they might not have passed. So from this year, nobody should register for a 3-year qualification if he wants to get a designation professional librarian. He must do a 4-year degree. So you only accommodate those people because they didn't have a choice at the time. But now that CHE has a new qualification framework, all library schools must now convert to the new qualification framework. So let me try and repeat now. We are still going to pursue the registration of a library assistant as a designation, but we will need down with SAQA to say we can't use a degree as an underlying qualification, while we recognize that occupational qualification are not yet. So what we are suggesting is that a person who has that qualification and let's say 5 years experience should be able to get a designation called library assistant. And 2, they assume that library assistant it's a job profile or is a job designation. It's not a job designation. Anybody who works in the library assisting professionals is a library assistant. He may be even qualified, but is doing the task that is relating to them. So we're trying to explain to them that library assistant is not a job title, because you cannot have a job title as a job designation. That's why we don't say librarian, we say professional librarian, just to make it a designation. So we're also looking at using concept like candidate librarian to move away from library assistant. So anybody who's studying towards librarianship, and so those are the things that we're going to negotiate with SAQA, and then we'll come back to the membership. But we are pushing for different designations.
Thank you so much, our president-elect. We are so grateful, and okay, I'm trying to look at the comments down there. Colleagues, as it was said, that no designation without a professional body. You need, to those that may not be the members here, but I doubt that we have people that are not members in this call, please be a member. To our members, okay, I'm sure our LNO staff members will respond on the other comments such as recording. For you to be able to claim the points, you must first register as a professional librarian, even if you are a member of LIASA. It does not come automatically. As Charlie said, that you must be conferred. So, colleagues, I know that sometimes we assume that because I have the degree and the member of LIASA, then I am a professional librarian. You need to apply for that. When you go to the LIASA website, I'm not sure if the office may help me so that we just tell the people where to go. And I have seen in the membership of Free State, we have a few people that are professional librarian, the status. I think we have less than 20 or maximum 20 out of 60. So can we all then, those that qualify, please apply for the professional librarian status. I have just realized, even with myself, that I've been active but not applied, so I cannot claim my points. So your points start to be active after you have registered as a professional librarian. That's what I wanted to emphasize on colleagues. So we will show the steps to steps guide, but just maybe 10 minutes before we end this meeting. Colleagues, we would also, once again, Dr. Charlie, are there questions that you want to quickly pick from the chat? There is
No,
that a four-year degree?
Yeah, so just quickly, it's that it's a 4-year degree and 2 years work experience. So Elma, when you did a library qualification, in the olden days, you would do a people. That's a 4-year degree. So if you've got that qualification, it's fine. But if you have done a Bachelor of Science or an LLB, which is not relevant to libraries, and then you do a 1-year postgraduate diploma. Some people do it 2 years because it's part-time, but in terms of the credits, it's a 1 year. It's a 1-year qualification. So it's about, I think, 130 credits. So those are the only recognized qualification. Postgraduate library. So obviously postgraduate, to get it because you've got an underlying, you've got a junior degree, or a 4-year library qualification. That's what it means. Not necessarily 2 year. 2 year, it's 2 years because some people are doing it part-time, but it's actually a year. So it's just, so we don't even use years. We just say postgraduate level qualification.
Okay, thanks, Charlie.
Okay. Thank you so much, colleagues. We also would like to thank you and Dr. Charlie for this informative and very educational session that we have about our own professional body and our own professional body status. Colleagues, it is our responsibility to develop ourselves. There is no one that will help you to develop yourself professionally. So let's take advantage of these workshops and the engagements that are posted with LIASA, and you really do not have to attend only your branch. You are free to attend any branch activities that are there. I would like to thank everyone that has been in attendance. We appreciate colleagues that comes from other branches. We have really seen that we have lots of them from different branches. Our library managers or directors, the LNO, the LIASA National Office, staff that provide our technical support. We also have our executives in the call. We appreciate your attendance, colleagues. There is just one comment that I just seen. I think, and that Charlie, that is directed to you. You may maybe respond that one on the chat as we finish off other activities that we should do on this call. Colleagues, I will try to share my LIASA website so that you know where to go when you want to apply for the professional body status. Can we all see the screen? It should be LIASA on the screen, the LIASA website.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What I also want to, I want also to bring to your attention, colleagues, on this corner where my cursor is, Register of Professional Librarians. If you have not applied for this professional body status, you are not on this register. So some employers will come here, people that know you are a librarian, will come here to look if you are there or not. And then if you are not there, they may say, is this person really a professional librarian? I have done a search here for that member of Free State. Remember, I'm a membership secretary, so I have your names, but under the POPIA Act. So I did not find that colleague, my colleague Betsy, because I have used Betsy, of which here I shouldn't have used Betsy. Betsy is the second name, I should have used the first name. I'm sure she was shocked, why am I not there? And then, colleagues, this is where you will find. So this, it is important. That's why we say it is important for you to register as a professional body. Because when we go to the professional librarians register, if you haven't registered, you won't be on that register. So after this, please register. How then do you register? You come to members, you come to the professional body and designation, then your application for here. Okay, then this is the form. What is important, colleagues, on this form, I want to bring to your attention, is the letter of employment. Remember, this is for authentication purposes. So you must upload a letter of employment. I believe that you get it from your HR. There's a lot of things here, as you can see, but what I wanted to bring to your attention is that. Then after you fill the form, your qualifications and everything, it will go to the LIASA National Office. And then you will, after they have done verification and everything they want to do, you will get a certificate that tells you now you are a professional librarian, and you will also have your professional librarian number. And then now in your signature, you can put the professional librarian. But if you haven't done this, please remove that status that you have conferred by yourself. you must get that certificate from the LIASA National Office. If everything of yours is right, nothing that needs to be corrected, and they call you, if they don't see the what is there on that certificate, they call you, they do the verification, that I can attest. So they will give you that call, and after that you will get certificate. You can keep it, and yes, this is, they will explain everything for that, for what it means, that certificate. I am sure when we go again to the membership register of Free State, all of you will be professional librarians. I'm sure the steps were clear, colleagues. If not, you can just call us or even the office. They are always there to assist. At the end, colleagues, I would like to share with, so now, as we know that there is this profession, who can you identify with that picture? I see the confidence is so low, librarians, but when we were showing other professions, it was easy. Okay, colleague, it's still on that challenge that we started with. A student librarian, a candidate librarian, was jealous that there was no post up about our profession, and then he decided to post this. But as we come to the end of the session, is it this really what you want to be identified with or as? Are we still there, colleagues? Do our clientele, our service beneficiaries, all other people, do they even know what is DTC 2022? if this picture is posted there, what will it mean to them? Are we still in that print? Are we still on those books? What's there? What is it missing? If is there anything missing? So colleagues, having said all that, we have come to the end of our session. Please enjoy your weekend and enjoy your entire life and things to come, and be on the lookout of all these engagement that Charlie was talking about, that there will be a call for this, there will be a call for you to engage on the proposals and suggestions. Please make your voice known and your voice heard, and all these ideas that we have on how can we improve our professional association or organization. Please make sure that you respond. I must confess, I was embarrassed when we were talking about the Gazette that has something to do with the librarianship, and I really never, I didn't see that Gazette. So let us not be those people that we are being missed with things that concern us. Ladies and gentlemen, our branch meeting has come to an end. Therefore, with powers vested to me. I think that Charlie, when I was about to end, is sharing something.
That's the Gazette. That's how it's written for librarians in local government. You can see there, it states quite clearly that the person needs to be a LIASA member.
Thank you. We
The
also...
Gazette, this is the name of the Gazette. You can write it down, librarians, and then you can search it.
Thank you, Charlie. It's even like 2021. There's also, so it's really an old Gazette that has been there. So colleagues, let's engage with those things that matters to us. Therefore, colleagues, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you for your attendance.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.